Hi, good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. Yeah, can you guys see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the moderator for the introduction, and thank you Zenitiq Solution for inviting me to this sharing session. So I'm Mark. I'm a software engineer from Codon Genomics, and I'm actually a front-end developer. Front-end guys. I do mostly the UI UX stuff in the software, and also my language is JavaScript. So today I'm going to share with you guys the web technology. So from the browser, in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, framework, front-end, back-end, API, and data formats. And these are the things that I will cover today. So I hope this will be very free and easy stuff. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me or stop me while I'm presenting or I do some demo. So just make it free and easier. Okay. And yeah, this is my profile. So like I mentioned, I'm actually using a JavaScript, and the framework that I use normally is Vue.js, which is for web development, and also React Native for mobile app development. So these are my project I did before. Maybe some of things I can share with you guys. From 2018 to this year, so around 3 year experience on this software engineer. So I hope today you guys can learn something from here also. So don't want to waste your time. So the project that interesting, maybe I can share with you all is like DNA barcoding system. Actually, this system is actually a system that let user to key in their DNA to the system. So this one is kind of like in the end of the day, the system will do blast. We call it find the similarity. It's kind of like the virus, like the COVID virus. So how they find it is 97% or similarity to the SARS virus. It actually use this blast technology. So we actually built this barcoding system before, but for a specific specific species. So we also build a bit tracking system. Most of the time we deal with the tracking system and also the data collection system. And also I have built the COVID-19 tracker, kind of like display all the latest information of the COVID-19 case. So these are the projects that I did before, and maybe some of the recent one, which is we have a QR code. Mainly we deal with the tracking system, so we have a QR code. Then we can print the QR code. After that, you can tag the things on the tree or anywhere. And after that, you can scan with the QR code. We have a mobile app for you to scan, and you can key in the information as you design. So these are the things that recently I reviewed, and yeah, it's quite interesting to share. So to start with the web technology, maybe we talk about a bit the evolution of the World Wide Web. Okay. For the evolution, actually it starts from the web 1.0, 1.2.0, and until today it actually is 3.0. So 1.0 actually the website actually is quite easy. It's just read only, the user just can only read the website. Normally for the company, for the organization, and also, yeah. So the content are static. Maybe I just show a bit. Oops. So Codon Genomics. So this is my company website. So yeah, basically just show whatever that I only can read the information from there. So this is web 1.0, like UN website, also same. We only can read, we get the things that we want. So the information is inside the website actually is forever the same. Today I go in and tomorrow I go in, they're actually the same unless there's the admin go and change it. So this kind of website, we call it static website. We call it static website. And the other one for web 2.0, when web technology getting more improved, and there's a browser improve, internet improve, we actually can do more stuff, which is we call it dynamic website. So for example, the dynamic website are the star paper, the newspaper website. So this kind of newspaper website actually is the content from the website is actually keep on change. They change every day or every hour, even minute. It's like a newspaper website, blog website, and also like stock market website. Also, it change every minute. So this kind of website, we call it dynamic website because they share the content is actually dynamic. Let's look into the star website. Yeah, so you can see today I go into this the star.com, then maybe it show the news of today, tomorrow, and yesterday it show different content. So this kind of website is slightly advanced. It's deal with a database. It deal with a lot of API stuff for you to get the data from the database. So this kind of website is slightly modern and more interactive with the user. So it encourages the user go to the website again and again, unlike the previous one, the 1.0, right? So the other one, which is the latest technology, which is Web 3.0, which allow you to read and write. And also it's actually a personal content. So what does it mean? It's kind of like YouTube. It's have an AI system to recommend you the video for you to watch. We have a like Netflix, Shopee. This kind of content is they actually implement AI inside to recommend the information that you want to see, that you're interested. So this kind of technology is more. It's only you need a lot of big data, and not like small startup can do. So normally only those Google, Facebook, YouTube. So those big company only can do this kind of stuff. So today I'm sharing this not to tell that when you want to do a startup, you straight away we consider 2.0 or 1.0 or 3.0. It's want to tell you the web technology actually keep improving. There's a lot of possibility can be done use the web technology. Even now, the software application are moved to the web. So web application, so they actually use the web technology to perform tasks over the internet. So the example are the Google Doc, like Google Doc. Normally, previously, we using Microsoft Word. It's actually on the desktop version, right? Remember? So Google changed the whole things into the online. So everything you can access online. So the Google Doc become something more powerful than the Word in some way lah. So you can write a document together with your friend, and you can share the document, and also you can access the Google Doc anywhere. Once you have internet, you can access it. So this changed the how we build the software as well. So like Gmail, Facebook, YouTube, CodePen. CodePen actually is a code editor for the programmer one. Okay, for you to like share your code online or debug easily. And even Google Stadia, in the future, you can play your game from the web. Those like big graphic game, I mean, from the Chrome maybe in the future. So this kind of web application, they actually have a lot of advantage. So like they can run multiple platforms regardless of OS, which means like normally if you want to build a Microsoft Word, so you need to build Windows version, you need to build a Mac OS version, maybe Linux version. So a lot of version, I mean a lot of OS nowadays, so make the developer very hard to need a lot of job to complete one ecosystem. So with the web technology, all these things can be solved. And also with the web and also the web application, actually you can push the latest code instantly. So the user no need to update their application, their software. Like the Facebook, once they update, all of us have to follow the latest update, right? We use the same version. There's no compatibility issue, and we don't need to remind the user to update the application. So if let's say got a new technology, they can straight away push to the server, and the user can straight away get the latest feature. Let's say got a bug, also can very quickly can solve it. Okay, so and you also can eliminating space limitation, which you don't need to install anything. You just go to the Google Chrome or any browser, just type the URL, and yeah, just done. So as easy as that. So it also reduces software piracy, and also you can access anywhere at any time. So I believe this web technology and together with the cloud, together with AI, it will be the future, right? So let's understand of how actually we build those kind of website, right? So just now I explained we have this web 1.0, 1.0, 3.0. We have a web application. Actually, they are the same, right? They are the same. They're using the same technology. So the technology are like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end, and there's a back end. If let's say you need a database for those web 2.0 or dynamic website, I call it, or web application, those kind of application will need a database. So you might need a backend and your database, your file system to store all those things. So if you are first time, I mean, you're a beginner, maybe you're a bit too fancy for you, this thing. So today we're not going to talk so many things. Today we just focus on the web technology, the main technology that we always see that interact to the user one. So those are the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? You can just imagine it's the HTML is a structure, it's a skeleton. The CSS is appearance, your makeup, and the JavaScript is actually an action for you to function. It's a brain for you to do all the function. And bear in mind, the JavaScript that I mentioned here is not Java, it's JavaScript. Okay, so maybe a bit, maybe we do some demo here, just a quick one. So just for those beginner, can easily understand while we follow this. Okay. So this is the code pen that I said just now. So we're going to do a simple HTML and what is JavaScript and yeah, and CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so as you can see, this is the HTML. Yeah, so this is CSS. For now, it's empty. Later we will write something inside. And the next thing is JavaScript. So what I'm going to do is I will do a simple things like this one. The button, I will make a button, and then I add a CSS with the appearance, the makeup on it, and at the end I will do a like click button. You say, ouch. Okay, so this is the JavaScript. So let's start. This is a very quick one. So in the HTML we have a lot of tags. So if you want to recognize the HTML, it's just very easy. There's a like open and close. So this body and H1 is the heading one. You have open and close as well. So this script we also have open and close, but this for now is empty. So later we'll add in, so don't worry. So let's say we also have another tag, HTML tag, we call it hello world. Let me close it. So instantly you can see from here, this is the heading 2. So let me copy that. Do it again. This is heading 3. So on and so forth. So this is just a HTML. Very easy, right? Some. So this is a paragraph tag, right? So yeah, very easy. So this is the skeleton that we built. Maybe I add another button. I am a button. Yep. Okay, the button come out. Okay. So this is the HTML. Very quickly you can type out the skeleton. So now we are going to add some CSS inside, which is let them wear some clothes, right? Let them wear a nice shirt. So let's do some the class for it. So maybe make it background, add some background color on it. Maybe add red. So instantly you can see the button change to red. So this is the CSS. Border. So make it, there's no border. And maybe make some padding on it. Make it a little bit bigger. And the font, maybe make the color to white. Yep. Really don't like red. Let me choose some nice color. It's okay. Maybe I get a blue. Okay, this is nice blue. Okay, maybe add some border. Radius. So, okay, add some border on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's look like a button. Okay. I mean more elegant button. Yep. But this button actually there is no function. Only can see, right? Maybe I add another one. We call it when hover it. So this is like when we mouse over it, what we do. So maybe I just make it change the color a bit. Change it to this color, darker. And maybe I change now my cursor is like, yeah, color change. But my mouse, not. Now it looks like a button, right? When we hover it, the color change, and the mouse cursor, if you notice, it changed to the pointer. You see that? Okay, so this is the CSS. Okay, so about JavaScript, also we can add here. Okay, so maybe I add a on click. Right, so we need to add a script here. Okay, so what you do is when I click the button, it just like will alert. It's the ouch like it. So yeah, so it will alert ouch. So you can do a lot of things. You can change the color, scroll it, or submit the form. Let's say you are a form. So this is JavaScript. So it's very easy. HTML is a skeleton, and we add a class. So it's a CSS, and this is a function. It's a function to referring here. Actually, it's a JavaScript, and what it do is just alert, right? So actually, I have two. This is similar things. So ouch, right? So I prepare another demo, which is something like this. So HTML also can be inside a table. So this is without CSS table. So it look very ugly, right? So after CSS, bit nicer, right? Bit nicer, it's arranged properly. And after we add JavaScript, we can do like sorting. Okay. So same for the image. For the image, we also have an image tag in the HTML. So this is an image without CSS. So with CSS, I do a bit, make it hover it, then I make it enlarge a little bit. Okay. So with JavaScript, which I make it like when I click, it enlarge the image. So this is JavaScript, right? So very easy to understand. If you look back, it's actually the same skeleton, appearance, and action. So this is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So once you master all these skill, you can actually build a lot of static website already with the skill that I show you all just now: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. With these three coding language, you can do static website already. So let's look at the website. So this website is actually, I found it's actually a demo, but I found it is quite nice to you. I mean, quite nice to see. They have a lot of animation, and actually is just want to show you all is actually with this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we can do this kind of website already. It's a static website. So when I scroll, this color will change a bit, and you have some animation. Let's see. There's some animation. So this animation can be done by CSS as well. CSS and JavaScript also can be done. So some animation, very nice to see. Right. So this kind of simple website can be done very quickly. I mean, if you're a master, then you can be done very faster, right? So other than that, you also can build your resume. If let's say for those developer, they want to show something different. They want to show their skill, to prove that they really can do something. So some of them actually make it their resume into a web page. So I found this one is actually quite nice to see as well. But yeah, for Iboto market. And yeah, you can see if you want to make your resume as a website, you also can do it with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, static website. This kind of website can be done, right? Okay. So like just now we do like background, make it black, font, make it white. See, button, same thing. We do like hovering, also can be done here. This one maybe it's more design science inside. I think they have a designer inside. They do it very nice. So let's button, click, then do something. Scroll, click, scroll, click, scroll. So this is JavaScript, and yeah, this is the static website. Oh yeah. So this is static text. So it won't connect to any database. So image, like just now I show effort. Yeah, this video. So yeah, you can put a link inside as well. So yeah, so it's quite nice to see. So the next thing I want to talk about is API. So remember this diagram? Just now what we look into is actually HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is all front end. So let's say you want to build something more advanced, you need API to connect to your database. So your backend, your database, and your backend actually can be any language, not PHP, JavaScript, Python, Java. It's not like this. You can choose PHP, just stick with it, and you write the code in PHP. Or if you're familiar with Python, then you can write in Python, Java, or JavaScript also can, and do your backend language. So what I want to talk about here is actually is API. So it's actually how the front end and back end talk to each other. So the front end will send a request, and the back end will return a response. Okay. So maybe a little bit a little bit hard to explain for for the beginner, hard to understand. But you just imagine it's actually like you go to a restaurant, you order a food, a pizza. For this example, is order a pizza. So you go to the restaurant, you order, you say, I want 12 pizza. So the waiter will go to the kitchen and say, help me do 12 pizza. And the kitchen will return back 12 pizza. So from here, same thing, the browser, it say, I request 12 latest record from the server, and the API will return a response. So the waiter is actually an API. Okay. The waiter is API which connect these two together. So yeah, so make sure they can talk to each other. This is API. So what they return, so you can see, let's say we request, there's a response here. So normally they will respond in this JSON format. This is the data format they return. There's a lot of format, but the most people use is JSON. So we call JavaScript object notation. So it look like this. So actually it's an object. It's an object. There's a key and value. So this is title, and this value, the image, the value. So this is the JSON that I got from the Star website. So this is the Star website. I actually got it from here. I just stay away from from the network there. So if you can see actually this kind of dynamic website. So dynamic website, when we come here, they actually call the API from the database, and the database will return the response to the user, right? Got what I mean? So I also do a little bit of demo. So let's say I get the JSON from the server. So this is from the star server. I just got it. Okay. So maybe I just formatted it. So actually the JSON look like this, like just now I show in the presentation slide. Okay. So if you look like this, there's an ID, maybe a title, time upload, and so on and so forth. So it return like this. Actually, it's in an array. So this object 1, this object 2. Okay. So same thing. I will use this JSON, and I can format to anything that I like. Maybe I do it in a card, the card format. So this is so England new 2 minutes ago. This is boycott of China cotton 6 minutes ago. Bukit Aman still seeking extradition of 3 Thai suspects in golf attack. Oh, okay. So you can see the news actually is same as actually I got it from this timeline. Let me see. Yeah, you see, right? Boycott of China cotton, Bukit Aman still seeking. So actually you can build any UI as you like. I just make it as a card. But some developer that's they like in the table, so they make it in the table. So this table after I make it same thing. So boycott of China, Bukit Aman. So this thing, so they make it in a table. So what front-end developer do is actually we get the JSON from the server. So we get the response from the server, then we formatted it, we make it nicely. We make it useful. Sometimes we make it in a card. Sometimes we make it in a table. So like the star, they make it in the timeline, so you can click here. So this is a more proper way, I would say. Okay. So different JSON, they will. Different response. We can do different UI. And with this, I also can do some sorting. Maybe you can add a filter as well. So this is what we can do with the API response data. So previously, I also make a COVID-19 tracker, which I show this data in a chart. So I make a country icon. So it also, I didn't do any server. I just get the data from the public website and make it as a tracker that I feel like I want to see. Sometimes you go to the website, the tracker, they display data in the way that I don't feel I like it. So actually I do it myself. So I developed a new app for my own. So it's actually published in Application Pure. So yeah, so this is the app. And the data I actually got it from here. Yeah. So this is the data I got it from. So actually the same thing. Let's look at this one. Okay. Yeah. So this is the API, and what I get, it return in the JSON. Okay. So I will display the total confirm, total death, total recover, in any way I like, maybe in the card form. in a table form. Yeah. So actually, it's from this website. So this website also they actually make their data, make the API public. They actually make it into a card. How many confirm, recover, and death. So yeah, there are quite a lot of things can be done. And actually, if you want, you want to do some training on it, there are actually got a lot of free API you can find. Some of it need authentication, but I found this feel quite nice to use. If you want to do some, I mean, cat API, if you like cat, right? So they have a API also. So you don't need to set up your database to store all the things. So they already set up properly. So just build an app or build a website and change the design package as what you like. So it's good for you to do some, I mean, if you're interested, can do some training from here. So CoinDex is also from the Bitcoin. So there are a lot of free API available outside. Can do a lot of app and website actually. So if you want to build a website your own, then maybe you need a server. I mean, without using the public one, you have your own data. You want to store your own data, then you might need to build a backend so that your front end can connect the data and do the UI and host at the cloud or anyway like yeah. So yeah, so these are the basic thing for the web technology. I hope I cover everything. HTML, browser, CSS, JavaScript. Framework actually take it out. I feel like a bit too deep for the beginner because I saw the list actually quite a lot of beginners today. So I actually took it out and I cover front end, what is back end, API, and data format. But that one is JSON that I mentioned just now. So yeah.